Yes, I want to recount my near death experience. Listen, to die does not take anything. It's not as that no wonder nobody goes to school to learn how to die. This I want to recount my experience, my near death experience. It all happened this way. There was a time I had given my life to Christ, and there was this NGO that came. It came from America. That time HIV was just new, and they came as a body wanting to enlighten the people about the virus and how to cater for themselves so that they will not be infected. So one of my family friend, was first was one of the people that first interacted with them, and because of his exposure, as in his knowing how to go about it, he was granted, he was allowed to go to United States through the program. And so when he came back, he told me about it and said, you know how to interact with people, and so you will do well. And going into the program, they told us that as many that would do a good job, you will take statistics and information, you will inform the people and educate the people, and if you are very good, you'll be privileged to travel to US. And with that, I, even as a believer, normally I don't even go out ordinarily to witness Christ, but when this program came, I saw it as an opportunity for myself to visit America. It would be a good opportunity, and so I walked to Tanil. I was moving from place to place, meeting with people, discussing HIV and educating them on how to prevent it. And we were giving pills also for contraceptives, so that if you don't want to get pregnant, you will be taking those drugs. So those were what we were going out to educate people. And before we went through training seminars to help us to educate us, so that we too will go out and educate others. And so that was what we were doing. I was doing at that time. When my mother got to know about it, she was like, you are not, I thought you said you are a pastor, I thought you are called, I thought you have a ministry in your hand. Is that what you want to be doing? Is that in line with with your call? I told her that I understand it is for humanity, we're working for humanity, and so it was in line. And so she did not say anything, and I continued. There was one day I went out. After I've gone, really, I was really going out with the aim. I was so serious about it. There was one day I came back from the going around, and I just felt as if I became feverish, and I was feverish. When my husband came back from his work, when he came back from work, he met me lying down, covering myself with clothes, covering myself up, sick. So he came and he said, won't you like to go to the hospital? I told him no, I wanted to observe myself, and he went out. On and the thing was becoming more and more intense. But I felt I would just go through it that night and go out the next day for treatment. As I was lying down, covering myself, one of my husband's friends came in looking for my husband. And so when he said, where is your husband? He asked, greeted, and we asked after my husband. When I responded, I just said, he said, what about your husband? He's not in the house. It was like, what is the problem? I am not well. He said, what is it that serious? And he touched me. He said when he touched my skin, I was as good as dead. I was as cold as somebody that has given up. He was afraid, and he asked after getting hot. He went out to get hot water. When he went out, when he left, within me, I just told myself, if I must die, I would rather make peace with God. As I begin to worship, I just discovered that I just collapsed. As I collapsed, the next thing I saw myself leaving my body. I could see body on the ground, and I was floating. And that was when I touched my head and said, oh, I have died. And immediately I said so, I started hearing the voice. Actually, I did not see his face, but I knew it was the Lord. And he started telling me that everything that you people are disturbing yourself for is vanity. Everything that you people are worrying yourself for is vanity. I said, yes. I started counting everything in the house. I said, yes, TV is vanity, fridge is vanity. I started counting as many things I could remember at that time. And as I finished counting, he started telling me, he said, listen, I made these things so that I made HIV so that when you people will see it, you will know that the time is close. He started talking. I can't remember all he told me, but I knew he took me through some things and wisdom and understanding about creation. At the end of the day, then before I knew what was happening, judgment came upon me. It was like magnet. I could not stand with my two legs. I started running through and through in the place. I started running. It was within the space of my environment, but I started running up and down, pacing up and down, and he started telling me that this will last for eternity. This will last for eternity. As he was telling me it will last for eternity, within me I started saying I will bear it. I was trying as much as possible to keep with the pace of running, and I was saying I will bear it, I will bear it. But something struck me to remember me that eternity will mean forever and ever. That was when I became to plead. I said, Lord, but I've been serving you. He did not say anything. And I said, omnipotent God, omniscience God, Jehovah Jireh. The moment I mentioned those names, the power that was holding me just went zzz, and that was how it left me, and I dropped back into my body. When I came back like that, I started crying. I started saying, I just remember saying, I die, I die, I die. I remember, I told you that one of my husband's friend came. He ran when he came back from what he told me. He said when he came back from the boiling of the water, he came back to discover that I have left, it was like I have died. And so he ran out to go and inform my relatives around. But while he went away, that was when all those things were happening to me. So when he came back, he said when he got to one of my relatives that he went to call, that one said he was not going, he was going out for work, and so he had to run back to come and check me. On coming back, he met me that just returns back to my body, and I was just saying, I died, I died. He said he will not die, and he began to pray for me. When he started praying for me, he now asked me, what is in that bag? Really, those people, they gave us a bag, and there were items that I cannot even mention in that bag. And I started explaining to him that I just joined an NGO and we are going out to educate people about HIV. He now said, your problem came from that bag. That your reaction towards the bag, that when you started, he saw me doing like this towards that bag, that my problem came from that bag. He now said, please, if I may advise you, return the bag. And that was how I returned that bag, and that was how that whole episode ended. I could not make a sense about it at that time because I could not really make a sense about what really happened to me, because that time God has not spoken to me about my call. It was over time that I began to know that I have been called to ministry. I have been called to work. It was after that God told me that I was a Levite, or I am a Levite. So it was when he had communicated that information to me, that was when I was able to know that, I was working in the camp of the enemy. What am I saying this hour? There is so much you will not know over this side in life, except you cross over. There are many things we are doing today that is not right, but because you don't know, we pray that the Lord will continue to guide us. It will be very terrible if you cross over to the other side and you now discover that all you have been doing all through in life is against